Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I bring on a guest that I had on in the past because I liked him so much I couldn't get enough. I had to bring him right on back. So today's guest is Valerie J. Coleman, who is founder over at Pen of the Writer. Valerie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Adam. I'm so glad to be back with you.
Oh, my gosh, 2020, we made it, and we're here, and I'm excited to have you back. I know we're going to talk about your book, your fest that's coming up, Book Festival, over at powerbookfest.com. But before we do that, the podcast is, we had a blessed year, and it's grown tremendously, and I don't want to assume all our new listeners caught your first episode. So let's just start off with what you're doing over at Pen of the Writer. Tell us a little bit more about the business, please.
Absolutely. Well, Pen of the Writer is my company where I serve professional speakers and experts to magnify and monetize their message by publishing quality books. Part of that service includes providing mentoring. I host live events, including the one we're going to talk about. I also have books that help writers get from one step to the next. And I'm just in the process of really doing an online courses to help them master the business of self-publishing, not just to publish a great book, but then to be able to make it profitable because we need those money matter tips.
That's awesome. No, I love it. And there's a lot of people listening right now that have considered being published, considered, even publishing themselves, and they just haven't broken over that hurdle just to take that next step to do it. What would your message to them be?
Most of the people who I serve, when I'm either publishing their books or mentoring them to publish their books, it is one of two things that has kept them from being able to move forward. The first one is fear, and that fear is all-encompassing. They're afraid they won't make their money. They're afraid they'll hurt their family's feelings. They're afraid it won't be good enough. They're afraid, so there's a lot of underlying fears. And what I found, Adam, for quite a few of my clients, it's not just the fear, it's the holding on to unforgiveness, because a lot of them are writing about things that they've had to endure and overcome so that they can help other people, and they are holding on to this unforgiveness. I'm still mad at him for doing that. I'm still mad at her for this situation. They never apologize. And so between fear and unforgiveness, they tend to halt creativity. It becomes a great conduit for procrastination and excuses. And so that would be the underlying thing I would say is being able to stand above the fear and then positioning yourself to forgive people, which doesn't require you to do it face-to-face or a direct encounter or even by phone, but to have forgiveness statements and to validate your own worth and move on whether you receive an apology or not.
Can you talk a little bit more about the power of telling and sharing your story with the world and why that's important?
Absolutely. For most people, when they want to write a book and tell a story, it's not just for entertainment purposes or entertainment value, although quite a few people have been quite successful doing it for entertainment value. But nonfiction books are the ones that outsell fiction books. And so what happens is when you take the time to tell your story, it has multiple benefits. For one, it's therapeutic for you, especially if you're telling a nonfiction type story, some obstacle or hardship or challenge that you overcame, a problem that you were able to solve to make your life better, that you want to transition that to help others. So it becomes therapeutic for you. And in addition, when you take your story and then use it as a launching pad to help other people, now it has a multiplicative, even possibly an exponential ramifications. Is now you're changing lives. You're helping people to make better life choices or not go down the path that you went down, but choose differently when it comes to whatever life circumstance they may be addressing. So it has a multiplicative, exponential type benefit and benefiting both the author and the people who are reading it.
Yeah, I love it. And I mean, I believe everything you said, and I usually take it a step further. And to me, I look at it as it's our duty to share our story, really, for the collective conscious, for us all to benefit from, and for the for the not just the future generation, but the current generations, plural, that are here. So when I look at even something like the podcast, I don't look at this as something, that sometimes I look at it as something I get to do, but I also look at it as like it's my responsibility to help people share their stories, to help that get out, so that someday somebody listens to an episode or something else, and that's that one thing that resonates. So hopefully today, Valerie, your voice is going to resonate with some people that have been kind of on the fence or dragging their feet on getting published or writing their first book. So I love what you're doing, and I think that's a great transition. Let's get into Power Book Fest and powerbookfest.com. So tell us a little bit more about the event coming up in May.
Absolutely. On May the 9th, I am hosting yet another citywide book event. I've been hosting citywide book events in Dayton, Ohio since 2004. And this will be my first time.
First off, congratulations there. That's amazing. Are you kidding me? That's 16 years of book events. I love it. I didn't know it was that long. That's amazing. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, when I first started, it started out more as connecting to aspiring authors. And then in 2004, 2005, I expanded it to include readers by adding a book fair the night before. And now from then, I've just been continuing the process. And now, like you said, 15 years going and providing relevant information, because it includes workshops, it includes activities for children and what I call the Power Kids area. And then, of course, the opportunity for authors to vent. This year, what I've done differently is I've collaborated joined my efforts with another Valerie McKinney Walker, and she does what's called the Indulge event. She's been doing her event for 10 years. Her focus is on small business in general. I'm bringing authors to the party, so we're expecting over 1,000 guests.
Wow.
She's going to have vendors.
First off, have I had the other Valerie on the show? I don't know if I have.
I don't think you have.
You holding on me, Valerie?
Well, she's a little more shy than this Valerie.
There's no shy in business. I don't want to hear that. She's connecting with small business owners. This is a message to her. You're coming on. I don't want to hear that shy stuff. Sorry.
Absolutely.
I just had to call you out for holding out on me. Go ahead.
I know. Isn't that awful? Shame on me. But she has typically 70 to 80, sometimes even over 90 vendors there, and they have different products and services. So if someone has, she has somebody who's made candles there, and she has people who make desserts, and different restaurant owners, and a couple like insurance agents or makeup agents. So she has a plethora of small business owners, and even clothes designers have been there. And then I'm bringing in authors of fiction, nonfiction, inspirational children's books, and we're going to put it all together in the Montgomery County Fairgrounds, and we're sharing this gigantic space, and we're looking again to position them in front of over 1,000 potential customers. But the thing for me, Adam, a lot like what you do, is realizing that it's not just the day of the event. So prior to the event, I'm providing mentoring for the authors who are registered. We're going to have social media shares to tens of thousands of fans, friends, and followers, putting out press releases.
So, Valerie, that sounds awesome. And you said this is May 8th and 9th, I believe. Is that right? Give us a little bit more information there on how the listeners can find out more about, of course, Ton of the Writer, but also about the Book Fest and all that good stuff, please. And I might have to go out there. 8th or 9th, my birthday is the 10th. I might have to go. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, well, happy birthday to you. Yeah, so it's going to be at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds in Dayton, Ohio, May the 8th and May the 9th. May the 8th is like a private preview, although the vendors and authors will be able to set up and sell. May the 9th is the actual event day. We added the 8th as a bonus to our vendors. And May the 9th runs from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., and they can get more information about the Pen of the Writer Book Fest at my email or my website, powerbookfest.com. That's power, Power, bookfest.com.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Valerie, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background of what you're doing over at Pen of the Writer and also about the book fest you have coming out. That's awesome. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on our new YouTube channel, Money Matters Top Tips, don't forget to subscribe to keep updated. And also leave us some comments on there. So if you're thinking about writing a book or anything else like that, you have some questions, don't worry, I'm not going to answer the questions. I'm going to make Valerie do the work, so we'll be good there. And Valerie, thanks again for coming on the show. It's been awesome catching up with you.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam.